Okay, welcome to our video for 6.4. We're still working with elimination this time, but we're going to talk about multiplication and division. Not too many notes for us. We just have our steps listed here, so that's important, something you should note on your paper. And let's fill in some blanks and look at some examples. You're going to be doing the same thing we were doing in the last video with the adding and subtracting. There's just like one little tiny extra step thrown in before you can do any adding or subtracting. Okay, so number one, make sure that both equations are in standard form. Write the system so that the variables are aligned. This is the new thing. Multiply at least one equation. So when I say one equation, I mean the entire equation, every single part of it. Multiply one equation by a constant to get two equations that contain the same number. Okay, so the point here is that, like before, we were trying to find the variable that had the same number in both equations, and then we could add or subtract them. In these examples, they're not going to have the same number. You have to make them have the same number by multiplying. I'll show you what I mean, okay? Then step 4, this is the stuff you are already familiar with, add or subtract, plug it back in to find the other variable and write it as an ordered pair, okay? So number 25, let's look here. Which variable, we have our x's and our y's. Ooh, this is not lined up very well. Let me rewrite this. 3x plus 4y equals 6, and negative 6x minus 10y equals negative 18. All right, that's a little better. Okay, so our equal signs are lined up. I like to draw a line down there. Okay, so like we were doing before, we need to figure out which variable, these x numbers or the y's, which ones are the same numbers. Looks to me like neither one. 3 and negative 6 aren't the same number. 4 and 10 aren't the same number. All right, so instead of just giving up and saying we can't do this one, let's think about it. Is there any number that we could multiply 3 by to make it be 6? 2, right? But if I'm going to multiply this term by 2, that means I have to multiply this entire equation by 2. So let me grab a different color. That means, I'm going to put it in parentheses, I got to multiply this number, and this number by 2. Okay? That shouldn't be too scary. It's just like distribution. I got to multiply 2 to 3. I got to multiply 2 to 4. And I even have to multiply it all the way over here to 6. All right? So that changes things a little bit. I'm going to multiply the top one and then just rewrite the bottom one. I'm going to just rewrite this whole thing so that it looks better. All right? So 2 times 3, this makes it 6x. 2 times 4 is plus 8y equals 12. Okay? Then that second one, we didn't multiply that by anything, so I'm just going to rewrite it. Negative. All right. So now we have a variable with the same number, and we can go back to what we were doing in the last video. So should we add or subtract? We have the same number, but with different signs. One's positive and one's negative. So that means that we need to add. All right. So let's go ahead and add. 6 plus negative 6, so that's like 6 minus 6, eliminates. 8 plus negative 10, so basically 8 minus 10 is negative 2y equals 12 plus negative 18, so basically 12 minus 18 is negative 6. All right, solve for y, divide by that negative 2, and y is equal to 3, positive 3. Okay, so like I told you before, now you need to take this and plug it back in. Really, you can plug it into any one, but let's just say the first one so that nobody gets confused. All right, I'm running out of room a little bit, so I'm going to tilt my paper to the side, and I'm going to do that math up in this blank area that I have, okay? So 3x plus 4y equals 6. 3x plus 4y equals 6. And we said y is 3, so let's plug it in. 3x plus 4 times 3 equals 6. So 3x plus 12 is 6. Subtract that 12 and you get 3x equals negative 6. Divide by 3, and x equals negative 2. Oh, all right, so as an ordered pair, our answer is negative 2, 3. Let's look at 26. Let's rewrite these so that they're lined up a little bit nicer. 9x minus 2y equals 10, and 18x minus 4y equals 22. All right, they are lined up. Here's the equal sign. And let's see, which variable has the same number? Neither one. So let's think if we can make either one of these have the same number. And upon looking, I can do it for both. I could make 9 be 18 if I multiply it by 2, and I can make this 2 be 4 if I multiply it by 2. So it looks to me like what I'm going to have to do is multiply that top equation, the whole thing, by 2. Okay? So let's do that. Remember, it's distributing, and rewrite both problems, both equations. So 2 times 9 is 18x. Minus 2 times 2 is 4y equals 2 times 10 is 20. And the other equation I didn't do anything to, so I'm just going to rewrite it. Okay, so now I have same number, same sign, same number, same sign. So when you have the same number and same sign, you're supposed to subtract. Okay, so 18x minus 18x eliminates. Negative 4y minus negative 4y, so it's like plus, negative 4 plus 4, eliminates. So all we have left on this side is 0, equals 20 minus 22 is negative 2. Does 0 equal negative 2 ever? No. So no solution. Okay? Let's flip over to the back and do 29 and 30. Okay? So let's look over here at 29. I'm going to rewrite them again. Negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 15. Line everything up. Negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 10. Okay, so we're all lined up. Okay, now, remember, we're looking for which variable has the same numbers. Not x and not y. All right. Is there anything we can multiply either one of these by so that they'll be the same number? Let me think. Negative 3, I can't multiply that by anything to make it 2. And I can't multiply 2 by anything to make it 3. So I don't know. Let's go look at y. I can't multiply 5 by anything that'll make it 3. And I can't multiply 3 by anything that'll make it 5. All right, so what you're going to have to do here, look back on the front to your steps one more time. I want to show you one thing. One thing that was written here is multiply at least one equation by a number. Well, in examples like this, where you can't just multiply one of them, we're going to have to end up multiplying both equations so that they can be the same number. So that's called finding the least common multiple. So what's the least common multiple between 3 and 2? Well, I mean, if you need to list them out, you can. 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. Those are the multiples of 3. And the multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The least common multiple means the smallest multiple that they have. It's going to be 6. So we need to make both of these be 6. All right, and how we do that in the top is by multiplying it by 2. So that means the whole equation by 2. And how we do that in the bottom is by multiplying it by 3. So the whole equation by 3. Okay, watch closely with this. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6x. And then 2 times 5 is plus 10y equals 2 times negative 15 is negative 30. Okay. And let's do the bottom one. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6x. 3 times 3 is plus 9y equals 3 times negative 10 is negative 30 also. All right. Think back to your notes from the other day. Same number, same sign means to subtract. Okay? So -6, double negatives make it a plus. So -6 plus 6 is gone. Elimination. 10 minus 9 is just 1y. And -30 minus -30 is like plus. So -30 plus 30 is 0. So y is 0 for this answer. Let's take that and plug it back into the first one. Okay? Now, if y is 0, think about it for a second. 5 times y, that makes this whole thing go away. So all I need to rewrite is -3x equals -15. And to be honest, guys, a lot of you are going to be able to do this kind of stuff in your head. So this means that x is 5 when you divide by the -3. So as an ordered pair, our answer is 5, 0. Okay. All right, I'm going to go through this last one, but I am going to fast forward the video. So I want you to try this one on your own, and when you think you've got it, go ahead and resume. Don't forget, we're trying to get both of them to have the same number. So look for your least common multiples. All right. So, oops, sorry. I didn't realize it was cut off. So our answer here is -8 and -3. So write it as an ordered pair. And that's it. Okay, so don't forget to try the last couple of problems. We have 31 and 32 on this page, and then the front page, once again, 27 and 28. All right, so don't forget to do the summary questions. Have a good night, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.